following the revelation from so many of his aides, apparently, that Herschel Walker is a massive liar, that they consider him a massive liar, that they don't think he's capable of serving in office, that they're worried that he's gonna tank the campaign. Well, let's figure out now how the next steps might affect his campaign. He still has to, appear places. They have a strategy, by the way, which is keep him off of TV. Try to keep him on script. That's damn near impossible, according to them. And you can read the Daily Beast article about it. He doesn't listen to them, apparently. And here's what they have to say about his ability to conduct literally any interviews in any venue. He screws up on Fox News where people agree with him. So the idea of him taking an adverse interview or interacting with people who don't agree with him is a non-starter. They liken the prospect to sending him into the lion's den. And the thing is, traditionally in these sorts of races, eventually you have to interact with at least one person, which would be the person you're running against. And as of right now, I find this impossible to believe that it'll happen, but they have 3 debates planned where Herschel, like whatever is left of Herschel Walker, will have to debate Raphael Warnock. The team wants to reduce it to 1, and they want there to be strict requirements. I don't know that like it's filmed asynchronously. I don't know what they could set up that would protect him sufficiently. But anyway, that's basically what we're gonna have. He's not really gonna do any sort of confrontational interviews or anything. There might be 1 to 3 debates, Brett. And we're gonna give people the recent polling in a sec. But if we have a debate, what do you think's gonna happen?
Typically what ends up happening is, well, I don't know. Like I was nervous about, this is so crazy. Like Dianne Feinstein, Joe Biden, and Herschel Walker will walk into the Capitol building. Like you just have people whose mental capacities have as much structural integrity as wet toilet paper. And I'd love to see them all filibuster. I'd just be like, no, go ahead, you talk, and embarrass yourself. And it's sad that it comes to that because everyone, in a time when people on the right wing are saying like, there's stuff I'm afraid to say, like, I'm afraid to say like Herschel Walker, man, the guy can't keep a sentence together. He can't get a sentence out. But if they do have a debate, usually what happens is he needs to be in the lead to comfortably say that I'm not gonna debate. That's typically what happens. You get a lead and then you minimize the number of debates. But polling is not backing that up. You've got a reverend, you got a man of the Lord who actually walks and talks the scriptures versus a guy who his last name's Walker and he can barely talk.
I see what you did there. Now, to be fair, before we dive into our last evidence, I want to give a response from the Herschel Walker campaign. Scott Paradise, who's his campaign manager, said, this is pure gossip with anonymous sources from a left-leaning publication who has been obsessed with Herschel and his family. This team is 100% committed to getting Herschel elected to the Senate. So sure, it is possible that the Daily Beast just made it all up. They made up the sources. I don't think that happened. I think that their sources in the campaign. We can debate how senior they are or whatever. But interesting note, Scott Paradise, the guy who just said that, who's like, this is all lies. In the article, if you read it, he was the guy, and we read this quote on the show a month or so ago that came out after the first of the secret children came out, and he was like, okay, so fine, they found one. He was only not releasing it because he didn't want to take him on the campaign trail. Scott Paradise had been lied to by Herschel Walker already. He was then lied to about other hidden children. So give him credit at least, not for integrity or anything, but he has stick-to-itiveness. Loyalty to the candidate who repeatedly lies to him to his face. That's Scott Paradise. Nice job, buddy. Anyway, some donors have apparently been fleeing Herschel Walker. The founder of Home Depot, Bernie Marcus, donated like $1 million to him. He's apparently done. He thinks it's too embarrassing, but it's over the kids, which seems like the dumbest reason to pull out as a supporter, whatever. Anyway, this could hurt him a little bit financially and he'll need that money. But most importantly, I was curious to see what polling do we have? And look, keeping it real, not enough and not recent enough. But if you look at the last few polls over the last few months, Warnock is doing significantly better than he was back before Herschel Walker started getting talked about a lot. And so, look, do not rest on your laurels. If you live in Georgia, organize and donate, because we cannot have Herschel Walker in the Senate, but things are looking a little bit better, perhaps.
But I mean, look at the dates. The ones that have Walker remotely in the lead was anywhere between January and April. And the ones that are done recently are either a tie or +5, and that's a Quinnipiac poll. Like that's no poll to sneeze at.
Yeah,
I believe it.
Yeah,
the Georgians, what they do is they either are, Stacey Abrams has a lot of people like actively advocating for get out the vote campaigns that have created turnout, and they're doing it to protect Georgia, right? And then what ends up happening with like the righteous gemstones in Georgia, when they see someone who is not being holy and they haven't apologized and it just gets worse and worse, they just stay home.
Yeah, it's possible. We'll see. I mean, look, people from inside of the campaign apparently, like it's too late probably. They should get him to pull out. They should have a write-in candidacy for someone who's probably also awful and probably also not really qualified. But this is what
John,
it's fun.
If there's one thing we've learned as a result of these Herschel Walker illegitimate children campaign scandals, it's that my man does not like to pull out.
On an anniversary, Brett. On an anniversary.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.